In the latest development, what we are learning next is that Israeli media has now reported 19 people have been injured after Iranian missile landed in the Bir al-Sabi and southern territories of Israel. This, of course, comes as IDF earlier shared that Iran had dropped clustered missiles in South Israel, marking the first ever instance in the conflict so far. Aditya Vadhavan joins me with more updates. What are you picking up, Aditya? Latest development comes in. Fresh inputs, 19 injured in the strikes in South Israel.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the Israeli media has confirmed that, 19 people have been injured, and, more so could also be declared that because, the Iranian missiles have hit the southern Israel, and they are continue to do so. Since last night, Iran is launching ballistic missiles towards Israel, and at this moment, the situation is of concern because, too many civilians are getting hit in these Iranian strikes. So meanwhile, on the other hand, even the Israeli side is retaliating with the same amount. So at this juncture, the situation is concerning regarding both the sides, because both the sides are showing by the statements that are coming from both the leaders that are coming, that shows that there will be no escalation between the two sides, and so there could be a major conflict between the two sides, which could, have catastrophic consequences for the Middle East. As of now, Israel will also now is planning to hit the Fordo nuclear, heavily guarded the Fordo nuclear site of Iran, and it says that it has the capacity to hit deep inside Fordo nuclear facility on its own. So at this juncture, Israel is also not leaving any stone unturned. Meanwhile, Iran is also continuing its ballistic missiles attack on Israel. Yes, sir.
All right. In fact, Aditya, continue to be with us. We have our guest, Mr. Gigi Dwivedi, Global and Strategic Affairs expert, joining us live at this point of time. Appreciate you joining me this morning, sir, and thank you very much. Now, we are looking at these developments coming from the Middle East, only more bombardments, more strikes, barrage of missiles, while the death toll continues to rise. And as the conflict heats up, Iran appoints new revolutionary guards in intelligence chief as well. And if we see the US's involvement as it weighs down its options, it is going to take some more time. What are you expecting from here?
Well, the conflict between Iran and Israel is already almost a week now, and there are certain trends that are emerging from this week-long military conflict. The first trend is that Israel definitely has an upper hand, because it has completely dominated the airspace, and in the aerial war, it is very important to have the domination airspace. So they have been hitting the targets deep inside Iran, and in particular their nuclear installations, as also military installations. On the other hand, the Iranian strikes are slightly subdued because they took heavy losses in the initial surprise preemptive by the Israelis, but nonetheless, they are also hitting out, but they are primarily targeting the civilian areas and also the infrastructure, because Israel is very, very sensitive to any civilian casualties, and that has a fear of psychosis among the civilian population. Now, currently it is the war of attrition, that is both sides are hitting each other, but as I said, Israel does have a upper hand. Now, as far as America is concerned, President Trump has made 2-3 important statements. Firstly, he said that, Iranian leadership must surrender unconditionally. And secondly, he made a statement yesterday that he will take some time before he decides whether to, physically come and enter into the conflict. But because I think the entry appears to be inevitable, because it is not within the capability of Israelis to hit the two important nuclear installations, that is Fordo and Arak, because the centrifuge facilities are deep inside, almost 60 meters down, and Israel doesn't have their weapon system to take them out. Now, beyond that, there are other couple of developments that are taking place. Firstly, no viable peace initiative has come about, while Russia and China, who are the close allies of Iran, have also not given the kind of support that Iranians were expecting. To that extent, Iran feels isolated. And you rightly brought out that there are certain kind of shift in the hierarchy, and the supreme leader Khamenei has handed over the military powers to the military generals, and there is certain rejig among the higher echelons. But today the regime of Iran faces, I think, a serious challenge both internally and externally. So we need to wait and watch, because the way the conflict is going on, I think it's going to extend over a period of time, and possibly it is the American intervention that will actually turn the table. Then my last point is on the economic front, because the almost 21% of the oil, of the global oil, flows through the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran does control. So if Iran comes on to actually put some kind of a restriction on the flow of oil, that is going to see the energy crisis emerging. As it is, the oil prices have spiked by about 9%. So I think the situation still is very fluid, and as we go by, things will clear out. But major difference will be made only if America steps in. And as far as Trump is concerned, he said he is going to take some time. So therefore, we'll have to wait and watch as this how situation plays out. Over to you.
All right, Mr. Dwivedi, thank you very much for being with us and putting this in complete context now.